Primavera.
Yes.
What's
Welcome,
up?
guys. Welcome to another episode of the Business Show. So today we've got growth design on, so really cool. Hello, Sonia.
Hello, Sonia.
We'll start it. Just pop in the comments. Can you guys hear us? Can you see us?
Sonia, Petru, Mark, George, Rose, Jack, Robin. Hello. Welcome, guys.
So just an interesting thing that I want to share, something that just happened is we signed up our account with Courier Guard. So I'll let you guys know how that goes. That's probably one of the biggest obstacles when it comes to the e-commerce space is delivering your parcels. And they actually have a nationwide delivery where it's next day or the day after, like 2-day delivery nationwide. In certain areas in Joburg, they've actually got a same-day delivery. So if you drop it off before 10, it gets delivered in the same day, which is insane.
Yeah, Eugene, and I think what makes it so important is especially you guys that's selling the IT stuff, the margins is of such a nature that if you have to get in a vehicle and go and deliver it yourself, it kind of chows up all the profits and things like that. So, yeah, really cool services, these things. So, yeah, glad you could find those guys.
Type of service. And now the other thing that it's allowing us to do is it's allowing us to ship nationwide. So we can deliver Cape Town, Durban, Peace, London, all that sort of stuff, where previously when we did our own deliveries, we were limited by the geographical area of where we actually can go and deliver. Now the next one is managing inventory, which is
luckily you know an accountant, so
yeah, so now we have to start managing inventory and all that sort of stuff, which is it's exciting. It's exciting to be able to be in that position when I think so many people are struggling. And then we hit our 30,000 mark on our website in 4 weeks. So 4 weeks, 30,000 visitors to the site.
Sure.
The next step for that is figure out how to convert all of them. Because not all of that turns into sales, or a small portion of that turns into sales. So the next step is to actually, and Michiel, that's part of our mastermind, is actually helping me with that as well. So he's giving a few tips and tricks. But yeah, so otherwise than that, Willie invoice Eugene for inventory. Willie's work doesn't come without an invoice. If there's work, guaranteed there's an invoice coming shortly. And that's how it should be. I think you've spoken about it quite a bit, Willie, is the value pricing and making sure that you invoice something. I see Elon Musk had a show on and they said, do you offer a discount for friends and family? It's like, yeah, I do. You go onto the website, you see the price, that's a family discount. So everyone gets something. And that's how it should be. We undervalue our services and our products and our time. And that comes down to that guy that was eating the plane with a hammer. We invoiced them like $1 million to eat the plane with a hammer. And it's $99 to eat the plane with a hammer, and then the other 9 million minus 99 to know where to eat the plane with a hammer, which is a cool thing. And
cool.
One or two other things. I actually want to get the book. So Bertus, a friend of ours that's part of our group, launched his book now. What's his book? Teespoed is your voorspoed. So the book's written in Afrikaans.
We're still working on him to translate it to English.
We're still trying to get him on the show as well.
I actually spoke to him the other day, so I have convinced him to come on the show. We actually just need to make some time to book him. I think he said when he's back in George, when he's not actually at the taxidermy, he will make some time for us, so we can check in with him and get him on the show.
So what I did today is got my journal. So I've started writing my So here's my affirmations that I read out every morning, part of my morning ritual. Previously, I had all these different books lying all over, and it's different notes and different things that I write in the book. And what I've decided now is specifically for my thoughts, for ideas and stuff like that, I have an actual journal that's just for that, nothing else, only for that. I want to grab his book quickly, Willie, while I'm away. Just what some of the benefits you get from journaling. How do you do the journaling? When do you do it? How often? Etc. I want to grab his book quickly.
Yeah, so thanks, Eugene. So from a journaling perspective, I get up quite early in the mornings, and that's one of the first things that I do. I've got a little bit of a ritual type thing, which I go through every morning, and I kind of write down my affirmations, and then do a little bit of a planning session for the day. And then what I also do is in the evening, I reflect back on the day stuff, just to give me some perspective. So that's something which I constantly do. I try to do it every morning, but I kind of, some mornings I do skip it. And I can really feel, if I don't do it during that specific day, I kind of feel a bit that day just starts off like wrong. But what's quite nice, Eugene, I know you've just started it, is that reflection which you do at the end of the week or end of the month, is by going back to what you've written down and kind of just remind you of what you've achieved, what you could have done better, and things like that. I know what Bartus has done. He's actually taken his journal books and he's actually got dates on them. So he's literally got like a whole book rack full of journals, and every month he would, for example, go back to the prior year and actually read the summary that he did for that month. And something that he reminded me of, or said, one thing that helped him before was actually made a note of his wife's birthday on the prior year, and how he could actually read the notes, and by just reading the notes, just given her that extra experience, what he felt he failed in the previous year. And we get so busy, these are the things which we don't really remember, and those are those special moments which you can actually record and reflect back on a year. And can you imagine if you read one of those journals in a 10-year time span, or 10 years later, and you can see the actual growth that's happened in yourself personally, as well as your business. It's just so powerful.
Here's this book, if anyone wants to. It's launched on Audible now as well. So this is Bartus Steenkamp. We're going to get him onto the business show soon. There's actually a picture of him. So
I'll share the Audible link on our bootcamp.
Yeah. Really cool book. So one of the things that he mentioned is the journal. And I realized I have been journaling for quite some time, and I have had my different journals and different books. Problem is, it starts getting messed up. So what I do as well is I write the date on the front of the book when I start with the book, and then I can reflect back onto it later. In between, I start writing, I've got a meeting with Willie, I can't find a book, so me use that book. And that's why I got a specific book now just for the journaling purposes. So the one thing that I want to share with that is I had a chat with my girlfriend about 2 weeks ago. That's not the last time I spoke to her, just about this topic. I had a chat to her about the journaling. And she said last week, Wednesday and Saturday, you didn't journal and you didn't do your affirmations. I was like, how the hell did you know that? I skipped those 2 days. Like, I could pick it up in your voice. I could pick it up in your demeanor, in your character, in your energy. I could pick up that you were low, you were thinking in a different way. And it just shows you every single day how important that is, to do it every single day, not just the days that you feel like doing it. Cool, guys. But without further ado, let's jump into today's show. So I see Louis already on here. So Louis is from The Growth Designer. So Louis, welcome to the show. You can pop on your camera and let's get the show started. And the crowd goes wild.
What's up, Louis?
Your
How's
camera.
it? Can you my see? Am I here?
You're
Yeah,
here.
your
cool.
camera.
Uh-oh. The growth designer is having tech design.
Again?
Your camera's black. So the camera just went off. Shows camera.
There we go. Yay.
The tech is see left the room. So how did you guys enjoy that interview?
So maybe whilst we wait for Louis, you can maybe do a quick introduction.
Yeah, so Louis had quite a few businesses, so that's what's exciting. He's bought some businesses, sold some businesses, and he's been in different industries. And now he's actually at the stage where he's helping other entrepreneurs. So he's pulling together resources from different types of people, so accountants, coaches, etc., etc. And he established this website called The Growth Designer. So if you guys have a look at it, will you maybe just pop up the link there?
I'll share the link.
Then, but yeah, he's Growth Designer. So the idea of the business, he literally just launched it. So that's what's exciting about it, is the part that he just launched his business, and it's going to scale and it's going to grow out and out and out. And that's all these resources and tools that entrepreneurs can use. Because I think a lot of the content and a lot of the things that we need are out there already. It's not a new thing. All the stuff's on YouTube. All the stuff is on different locations. The problem with it is it's spread so widely. Where do you find one place or one resource where you can get all of that information? So you'll go, for example, onto a website that will give you your business plans. Then you'll go onto a different place to give you coaching, and you go on a different place to give you that. And now it's collected into one place. And I think as his business expands, there's just going to be more and more and more resources that piles into that.
I think I can also relate to that, Eugene. So I'm a good researcher, and you're also quite a good researcher. And, when you want to go look for something, I see Robin's also in the call. I always tell Robin, have you Googled this thing? So that's something which I do very, very well. If I look for something, the problem with that is not everyone is inclined to go and look for the information. So this is really what makes it cool, is when you have something like this where you structure all the material and stuff that for other guys. So,
and then we're busy with the funnel for Yin Yang of Sales as well. So Stephen and Vinesh, that was on the show as well, they're running a one-day boot camp, which is 2,500 Rand. They said they'll give it to us for $1,000. So if anyone's interested, just pop in the or pop on the. It's only for the mastermind members. So if you're interested in that, just let us know in the group. Maybe I'll just share the link in any case. Then they said they'll give all of the mastermind members a discount on that to get it for $1,000. And then what was the other thing about the Yin Yang of Sales? I can't remember, but it was about their funnel that we're busy building. And I think that's a really cool thing, is to see how the same sort of thing works for different types of businesses.
Yep.
So, and we're using a similar funnel for the hardware sales. So some of the things that we're doing on Time IT and Refurbish Warehouse and the drone store and all those sort of things, we are using that same onto the other things as well.
Sorry about that. Can you let me know? Can you see me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me?
We hear you loud and clear.
Awesome.
Cool. Let's get into the show, Louis. So, firstly, welcome to the business show.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks for joining. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So first off, let's just get into it. Tell us a bit about yourself and how you got to this point where you are now.
Cool. So pretty much my mom started a business when I was in primary school. It was a courier company. So the trucks would actually come to our house at 4 o'clock in the mornings and start loading up. And this was in the 80s. And I got to see pretty much how business works and how business runs. And they had barcode scanners, which was pretty cool for that time. And our poodle actually went to Joburg once by accident on a trip, and I was one of the deliveries on the guys' trips to school. So it's kind of, I really grew up with entrepreneurship, and I think it just kind of intrigued me. And as I grew older, after school, I went to study some draftsmanship and graphic design, and I immediately just started my business. And 21 years later, I'm still an entrepreneur. Haven't worked for someone, so it's been a cool journey. Yeah.
One of the guys that's been on the entrepreneur journey all their life. It's not a lot of people that does that. Normally we first go into employment, get that first couple of paychecks, drink it all out, and then Sorry, I just want to mention one thing, guys. Louis, your sound is really loud, and that's fine. If you guys just turn down your sound a bit, and then the distortion's a bit less. So just down, George, and then you should be good to go. This is part of tech, guys. This is part of life. This is part of winging it. This is how it goes. Really, go for it.
Yeah, cool, Louis. It sounds like you're a born and bred entrepreneur, and you started quite early in your life. Tell us a bit about your first business that you started.
Yeah, so my first product I came up with was putting business cards onto lighters. So my idea was I actually had at one of the engine garages, I put a little display there, and you could drop off your photograph when you go to the garage, and then like a week later you pick up your lighter with your personal branded lighter or your business card or whatever. So but unfortunately, like you say, you don't have discipline in the beginning. So you've got all these great ideas. They're hanging around everywhere, and you start one and you try one, but then you get preoccupied and you don't follow through with the actual plan. So, but that was one of my first things I did, and then I really designed a unique product, which is these vertical blinds. So we printed on them. My first shop I had to put something in the windows, and I designed these blinds. And if you close them up, a perfect picture or a perfect logo. So then I actually thought this idea's got feet, and I moved to Joburg from Clarksville, and I stayed in a caravan for 6 months. Okay, and I tried getting this product in by the banks, and we eventually got in by Nedbank, Standard Bank, and FNB. Yes. And so that's where my big journey started, and then I started getting my first machine and designing other products, branding products, and that. But those were some of the highlights. Yeah.
Not just an entrepreneur, actually an innovator and a product creator. Well done. It's not often that we speak to guys that's actually gone through that entire journey. So
yeah. Interesting. So where are you now in the journey? Because I remember you said you sold those businesses and different transactions and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
What's the transition period?
All right. So I've been in branding pretty much designing all my life. or my whole journey. And then when I sold the business last year, I was about what am I going to do? I wasn't sure, but I actually got hold of a person by the name of Dr. Gustav Goos, which is a life coach. And it's one of the big things I never did right in my journey. I never got a coach, which I think would have saved me so much troubles and pains, and even just networking, just bouncing some ideas off of other entrepreneurs, just chatting to people, the support, there wasn't that. So I spoke to him, and he said he's got a course, how to package your intellectual property. So I did that course in September last year, because what he reckons is everyone through their journey has learned something, solved some kind of problem, and people will pay money to have that done quicker, faster, simpler. So I did the course. It's just a one-day course. I can give you details to it. It's really fantastic. And what he does then, he kind of just brainstorms. You put all your ideas on the table and you pack them back in, and you say, what are you really good at? And you kind of, it's like skill versus a need, and what's your passions and your purpose, and it's all these things together. And then I came up with the Growth Designer, because I think, it's my designing background and entrepreneurship, and I want to help startups, to not make the mistakes I made. Have a look if their ideas have got feet. Maybe they are smoking their socks. And then I built a little model where I run the idea through, and to see in which area of business you first need to focus on. So that's pretty much, in a nutshell, what I've started now.
Okay. Tell me, Louis, so we often speak about, a lot of there's a lot of businesses out there, and a lot of guys struggle to get their product out into the market. And one thing that we most often speak about is your unique selling proposition. What makes you different? What makes the Growth Designer different to the other guys that's already operating within the market?
Cool. Yeah, I like that question, because it's the first thing that everyone will tell you to be different. And it's also one of the things that we run through we start with a product. But what makes me different is I am definitely not in competition with anybody. So I'm not in competition with any coach or any entrepreneur. I really just assist. So I get the entrepreneur at the point where he is. We assess what he's doing, and then I tell him, look, these are the guys that I trust, that you can go and work with, or these are the things that you need to go and do. So I think that does make me different in a way. And then the other thing is my experience. I can be a mentor and a coach. I've walked the journey, and I've also got quite a wide field range, because I'm a shareholder in a mining company. I have sold a nuts and bolts business. We've done branding for big corporates. So I've got quite a wide scope of experience, and especially for startups, I think I'm really qualified to help the guys. Yeah.
It's interesting. So one of the last books that I read was a guy, Patrick Bet-David, that I follow on YouTube and stuff as well, big entrepreneur in the US, and he actually had a stat where he said, I can't remember, something like 78% of new businesses fail within the first year. And then once that 26% that goes on to succeed, another 60% of them fail in the year after that.
Yeah.
I think there's some of the biggest reasons why it's so difficult to start a business.
Well, I think the first thing is mindset. And what happens is, and this is just my experience, a business is a lot of problem events that needs to be solved. So if you do not see a problem as an opportunity to learn something, or as possibly an opportunity to create a new product, even sometimes, because you know that's how things evolve. If you don't have a mindset of a problem can be your friend, you're going to be your energy is just going to be, you know, taken away. And that's the first thing. The second thing I would say is your why. You know, the why, if you're there to make money, it's not going to work. You need something more than that. It needs to be part of your DNA. You need to have a purpose in that. And it kind of needs to really gel with who you are, you know. And that's also part of the journey to find out what you're good at, and what you need to outsource, what you need to delegate, what you need to learn more to do, you know, areas where I'm not skilled. But I think that's the stuff. And then in terms of running the business, obviously things like, you know, a professional brand, you know, building trust. People won't buy if they don't trust you. You know, being out there and they must very easily, quickly see in one sentence what you do. They mustn't even think about it. It must be crystal clear. Yeah. So those are some of the things that I think people don't get in place, and that's why I really want to support people, to tell them these things, because it's small things, but to figure it out by yourself. You either might never do it, or it's too late. Yeah,
definitely. And it's also comes down to, we've spoken about this before, Willie, is business is a problem, or the purpose of a business is to solve a problem.
Yep.
If you're not solving a problem, you don't have a business. No one's going to pay you if you're not solving some sort of problem for them. And that is what entrepreneurship is solving continuous problems. And you need to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So Louis, completely off topic. What is your why?
Okay. Yeah, so my why is really to help South African startups to start businesses, because we have got the most creative people in our country. Oh no. Okay. So we've got so many creative people. We have got people that will really be able to possibly, with the right help, create businesses that can employ 300 or 400 people at a time. But what I want to do is take containers with information on entrepreneurship into every rural area in this country.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's my why. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It then makes it worthwhile getting up in the morning and going to the startup, which is not actually giving you a salary when you start off, right?
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, you know, you'll be able to learn things there that, you know, you can actually, if you have a center where people can learn about entrepreneurship, at some point in your life, there's going to be an opportunity. And if you can just give the guy the know-how, open his eyes, that he can create a job for himself and he can feed 5 other guys, you know, because it is not available, and it's I'm telling you, it's the only solution for our country and for the world, for that matter. Yeah, so that's my why.
I must say, I feel very. My feelings are very similar to that. I think people look towards the government and they ask these guys to solve the joblessness and stuff like that, and it's not going to happen. I feel strong about it, that it's all of our entrepreneurs' responsibility.
Correct.
To actually start businesses, and by creating these businesses and by learning from other people and collaborating and so forth, I firmly believe that we are actually in the position to actually help and solve joblessness in our country. And I think the bigger picture for me is as soon as you can feed people, crime and all of those things will also go down. So yeah, it's a very noble cause that you're doing, and I think it ties in quite a lot with what we are actually trying to achieve, Eugene.
Very cool.
And it also fits in I think to every single entrepreneur. I mean, every person I know that's been a successful entrepreneur is out there helping people. They're helping other entrepreneurs, they're inspiring business owners, they're helping people with marketing. If you look really just in our circle, like every single person's doing something to uplift the community, or is doing something to teach someone, or to train, or to give back, or something like that. Which actually makes me think of the question, do entrepreneurs become successful and then they help people? Or is it because they've always had in their nature to help people that they became successful?
Wow. Yeah.
That's a good question.
Sure.
What do you think about it, Luke?
Yeah, I think why it can change. I think you also reach levels on your journey, and you need to assess that. So in the beginning, it would be just maybe to try out the idea, see if it works, and then make some money, and then you'll see. But I think as you mature in business, you can see that start giving back is really to invest in people, and you can't put a money value onto that. And at the end of the day, at the mining company, we employ about 40, 50 people. And let's say all of those guys go and feed a family of 5. Yep. It makes a difference at the end of the day. So, yeah, you need to grow as an entrepreneur and also reassess yourself. That's why the model I built, you can put your ideas in them and kind of run that through the whole time to see, am I on track? Do I need another focus area at this stage? But I think it comes down to, knowing yourself, self-control, being disciplined, having a plan, and just being 1% better every day. And not being in competition with people, but, try your own personal journey. What is important to you?
Yeah. So tell me, Louis, running a business on a day-to-day basis is a very stressful thing. So, we all deal with stresses very differently. I know one thing I do is, I know immediately when I get stressed, I go and I do like a mind dump, or planning helps quite well. What do you do to work through those daily stresses of being an entrepreneur?
So I start every morning about 4 o'clock, and I read Bible, and I'm in Scripture, and I connect with my Creator, and I think that's that the purpose of I'm in here. He kind of tells me what to do and what to handle for the rest of the day, and all of that stuff doesn't shake me then because it's a no-brainer. I'm here for a purpose to shine His light, and whatever the journey I have to take, sometimes you will be just speaking to one guy for 2 hours because he needs investment in at that moment. So, I think you almost start becoming a little bit immune against stress because, like I say, business is a lot of problems coming your way. So, you don't see it as stress anymore. But yeah, that's what I do. So every day, and then every night what I do, I write down the last thing that I do before I sleep. I write down one question for myself. And you won't believe it, I have not woken up without an answer.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, so try that. It's just get yourself a little notepad, a book like this. Write down a question and you'll see. Your brain, that's what your brain is designed to do. It figures out stuff, yeah. So if there's something you're stressed about, or, write it down and you'll figure it out.
So that's a challenge for the mastermind crew, is do that for the next 21 days. 21 days forms a habit. So for the next 21 days, let's all give it a shot. It education without execution is entertainment. So
That's it.
We have to learn stuff. More importantly, it's go and apply what you've learned. So let's all take on the challenge. Really going for this.
Yeah.
Every day, before we go to bed, write down a question that you want to answer to.
Yeah.
So do this for 21 days and see what the outcome is, and comment on the group with some of your comments that you have, and if you relate to it, if it's working. If it's not, we'll get Louis back on and tell you.
I would love to see that, yeah.
So yeah, let's all give that a try. Louis, just something else that I wanted to ask about. Who's someone totally off topic? So one of the things I do, part of my morning rituals, every morning I watch an inspirational video. Most of it is something that's related to business or entrepreneurship or mindset. So, for example, Tony Robbins or something like that.
Yeah.
And then there's some local guys that I follow. There's some guys that's quite good on YouTube that I follow for their YouTube stuff. Who's someone that you look up to, or someone that inspires you, and why?
Sure. Well, I have to say my mom. It's funny because she started that business. She got ill, and then when they were 50 years old, they started the mining company. When they were 50 years old.
Yes.
And that's really inspirational. But and then I would say local guys, local heroes. I consulted at Eureka, the guys that make these orange and brown packet of screws.
Yeah.
So I consulted there in design in the marketing area for 13 years. And the owner of that, he started with that selling out of his boot of his car, Mr. Murray. And now he's employing more than 500 people. So I suppose it depends on where in the journey I am. I don't follow one particular person, but obviously always positive, not negative, nothing with jealousy, nothing with haters, but everything. There's a few guys, but it's not one particular one.
Oh, no, very cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Louis, it seems like our time is almost running out. What 3 tips would you be able to give to our viewers who's looking to, start their online journey and grow their businesses online?
Okay. So, if you go to my website, there's a link from Webpreneur. And it's an affiliate link, but they can also become affiliates there. But it's a very cool platform where you can very cheaply and quickly get your stuff on. It's got everything you need for not a lot of money. But the tips I would give is always have a call to action above your fault line. So that's the first thing I would say. Second thing is have something there that obviously looks professional and is clear. So some kind of headline where they know exactly what you are doing. Don't make it confusing, anything like that. And then perhaps something that can build trust. So a review, perhaps an award, or something that the guys can really connect to. And if you are a local company, put photographs, put even a photo of yourself so you can build that trust with the people. So people want to do business with people, even if it's online.
Yeah, I think that's a very important thing which you mentioned there. So I read some statistics the other day. The number one thing that converts sales online is actually reviews.
Okay.
And thanks for mentioning that. And it's something which we neglect to do all the time. So we deliver these services, but we do not go back and ask for these reviews. And rightly so. People buy from the people they know, they like, and they trust. And that's one thing that all of us can do, and all of us can do better.
Yeah.
Louis, sorry, Willie, I know we're almost out of time. I just have 2 more questions.
Gene's always got questions, eh?
I'm curious, man. I'm curious. So one of the things that's really important to us, and something that I've been aware of, is how the people around you influence you. And you mentioned earlier is having this network groups and stuff like that. How important is it for you to have or to surround yourself with a certain type of person? How does it influence you?
Oh yeah, I mean, show me your friends, and I'll show you your future.
Oh.
You know, it's about a junk in and junk out. My wife always says that. So it's really, we have 50,000 thoughts a day, of which about 30 something thousand is automatically negative. We just wired negative. So if you don't control your thoughts, then they are going to control you. So what you're doing with putting motivational stuff in, learning, that's really self-control. So that's learning how to, be every day you've got a potential. If you're looking at a gauge, an empty gauge and a full gauge, like a petrol gauge. At the end of the day, you're going to look back and say, look, did I use this day to its full potential? And if you didn't, then you need to go and go and question yourself why. And that's why I say the mindset thing, our ego is a lot of the time the problem, because if we get very hurt if people say something about our logo or our product or whatever, but you can actually see that as a learning experience, and if you understand the value of doing it differently, you can get a lot more out of that. So I think it's really getting your full potential out in a day, if that makes sense. Yeah.
You just open up like 4 cans of worms there.
We'll have to get him back again.
We'll have to get you back so I can ask. That's a whole nother subject which I'm going to have to learn a bit more. Louis, just one last question before we say our greetings is if people want to go follow you, if they want to catch up what you're doing, or do they want a specific offer, how do they go about this?
So the growthdesigner.co.za, it's just that is there, and also above the line you'll see there's a free 30-minute session they can book with me. If they've got an idea, a business idea, if they've already started, and then we'll just have a chat to see, if I can help them, if I can't, no problem. But it's totally free, and then they can go, please like my Facebook page, the Growth Designer that goes on. Oh, fantastic.
So then just a challenge for you is your question for tonight that you have to go write down is how can Eugene and Willie make the show even better?
Okay, challenge accepted.
Thanks for coming on to the show. We'll share all your links. We've shared it on the page. We'll share it
awesome.
in all our sections as well, and we'll share it in all our WhatsApp groups and Telegram groups and stuff like that as well.
Oh, fantastic.
Otherwise than that, just thanks for coming on the show. And thanks for sharing your knowledge and your experience with us, dude.
No, thanks for the opportunity, guys, and good luck. You're doing fantastic work, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks. Just from my side, Louis, thanks so much. I know you were traveling today. I think you're in the Free State.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship doesn't just stay at home. Thanks so much for taking time. And once again, all the viewers, hope you've learned something today, even if you've just learned one thing. We often speak about you can fast track your success journey by learning from other people. And Louis, you've shared so much insights today. Thank you so much for taking time out.
Awesome, guys. And remember, thanks, guys. You have to apply this stuff. You can't just learn about it. You have to take action. Otherwise than that, guys, thanks for joining our show. Thanks for coming on. Louis, thanks for coming on. And thanks to all our viewers. And what you see on next week's Prisoners Show. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.